regulations for every one that he put on. So this was during the campaign in 2016. What ended up happening was actually 22 regulations rescinded for every one he added, which is an extraordinary record. Nobody's come even close. Without compromising safety. It's important. These were just, it was like an onion, layers and layers and layers of bureaucracy without achieving any discernible goal in many cases. So just streamlining that process, as I mentioned with the vaccine, similar thing. You have to have a mindset of how can we achieve the same or better result more effectively and more efficiently. Energy independence, so critically important, the number of jobs that energy supports, but also the national security implications of no longer being dependent on foreign nations for our energy needs.
Yeah, I clap for that.
So critical. You mentioned peace in the Middle East. I mean, the whole paradigm is changing, and energy independence is an important component of that, looking forward into the future. And then lastly, and incredibly critically, it's renegotiating bad trade deals that exported good-paying American jobs. So he took that on with his typical energy and vigor immediately, and multiple deals all at one time, and just one example of many trade deals that he successfully renegotiated in his first term, and he has plenty more that he wants to accomplish in the second. But just one example would be the replacement of the job-killing NAFTA with USMCA, the largest trade agreement in American history. Actually, the largest trade agreement in the history of the world. So it's extraordinary for American workers and farmers and ranchers, and something we can be very proud of. And it's just now starting to be implemented.
So NAFTA cost this country 850,000 jobs. The other side's love for China cost American workers 3.5 million jobs, went straight over to the communist nation.
I'll just layer on top of that. During the time Biden was vice president, this country lost 200,000 manufacturing jobs. During the first 3 years of the Trump administration, this country gained 500,000 manufacturing jobs.
Incredible. But wait a minute.
It's extraordinary.
No, hold on.
And that's just manufacturing.
Yeah, those jobs aren't coming back. We were told they were never coming back. Is that not right?
He's got a magic wand.
Okay, that's good. Good. But getting those deals done, whether they be peace deals or trade deals or tax cuts, it takes a certain level of toughness. It takes a certain style. The substance is there. Talk a little bit about the man you know, your father, not just what he's been able to do to kind of hold people's feet to the fire, but also something no one really talks about, his ability to work across the aisle. We did a lot of things where he had to bring people from the other side, that are willing to talk to him, to have a conversation, and got it done. So talk a little bit about that.
Well, first and foremost, he's grounded in common sense. He prioritizes people over politics and over party, which means he will do what's right because it's right, which enables him to achieve things that have long been talked about, yet no one's delivered on both sides. I mean, he brought the whole Republican Party along on trade, and now Republicans stand with him on fair and reciprocal trade, but that was not really true when he arrived in Washington. On the other side, what he's been able to accomplish, whether it's conservation in this country, which he gets very little credit for, but he signed into law the largest piece of conservation legislation since Theodore Roosevelt created our national park system, the Great American Outdoors Act, which will protect our park system and invest in it for the next 100 years. Again, putting America first. Our parks, the places where our citizens go to enjoy the majesty of this incredible country. Every state in our country has a national park, so every citizen has the ability to benefit where they live in their own backyards. So those are just a couple of examples, but there's so many. What he's done around price transparency, drug pricing, human trafficking.
Yeah.
I mean, nobody even knew it was an issue within the borders of our country. It was thought of as a rare and horrible thing that was occurring in nations far away, and that we were working to combat through the State Department, but very few people realized it was happening right within this country. And he signed into law 9 pieces of legislation to stop human trafficking in the United States of America in his first 3 years in office. And I had the privilege to work with him on this goal of stamping out arguably the greatest of darkest and the most dark of evils that exist. So those are a few examples. Criminal justice reform. For all the talk politicians do, he was the one who delivered historic, really generational criminal justice reform, undoing the Biden crime bill that disproportionately decimated African American communities. So this is a little teasing of that which he's been able to accomplish on a bipartisan front, but it's all because he cares about delivering for people. And my brothers and I actually, we laugh about it, but we joke that he has kept more promises than he's made. And it's true, because certain things, he didn't campaign on criminal justice reform. He oversaw the largest overhaul in 30 years because it was the right thing to do.
Right.
So he has, in a lot of ways, kept more promises than he's made.
And I worked with your husband on that issue, and it was one of the most fulfilling times I've had in the White House. It was really, really impactful. Now, I'm gonna ask you some questions now from the audience. I got a couple here in my hand, and this is really sad and weird to me because it feels as though you must be embarrassed. All these people are here, clearly here to see me, but for some reason you got these questions, so that's fine.
I'm here to see you. Okay.
Yeah,
I've missed you.
Good. That's
I
good.
missed you.
So this is from Nicole McDonald. Nicole? There you are.
Hi, Nicole.
How are the president's programs more effective, faster, and less expensive for all Americans to achieve the American dream?
Oh, wow. Well, that's so important. First of all, we believe in the amazing engine of capitalism and the private sector to be the primary catalyst of innovation in this country. So we leverage that to the hilt, whether it's calling on the private sector to step up and do more to invest in the skills and talents of American students and workers through our Pledge to America's Workers, where the president, through this call to action, got over 400 companies to commit to